Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Danielle and I currently live alone and trying to eat healthy whilst remaining on a budget. I haven't been around for the last couple of weeks because my partner and his brother were visiting. That did mean that I haven't necessarily been cooking that much food, buying that much sort of groceries, and I haven't necessarily been eating particularly healthy either. I will show you probably over the course of the next few weeks sort of different meals out here and there, but like I say, it wasn't generally a lot of home cooked meals, which is why I haven't done my meals of the week videos in the traditional way, and why there wasn't recently a grocery video as well, because it was just buying the odd thing here and there rather than enough for sort of a full week. But they have left now, and I did make sure to go to Lidl to prepare myself for the week ahead. So I will go through, as always, everything that I did purchase, how much it cost, and then I'll discuss what I intend to actually cook with it. But I obviously was doing a kind of a here's a recipe book and here are some meals from it that I'm going to attempt to do where I haven't been cooking. I do just want to focus on simple things that can get me back into the swing of cooking, back into the habit, just doing some super simple meals before I try to venture out back into that giving you things a go realm. So next week will probably be another sort of recipe book based shop and then meal plan as well. But this week it is just what can I figure out in terms of what I want to cook. So let me show you what I did get in Lidl and then let's meet back up for that food plan. So I did decide to show you what I got in the freezer section first, just so I could quickly pop it into the freezer before it defrosted completely. So I picked up some potato waffles. I love these for being able to put them straight into the toaster. And then I also picked up a bit of a treat of some of the little kind of Magnum equivalent ice creams as well. But then I grabbed some 0% Greek yogurt as well as some light margarine. I do have some salted and unsalted actual butter in the fridge, but I wanted that to have sort of a quick go to option as well, which is definitely helpful for certain things I do. But then I also decided to get some more orange juice. I've been ill on and off for the last week or so. I just wanted to have something to help boost up my immune system instead of always having to consume the physical oranges because I do still have plenty of those hanging around. Then I got some more long life semi skimmed milk. The one that I have in the fridge is open. So I wanted to make sure that I picked up another one for some meals that I'm planning to have later on this week, or just for coffees and things as well. Then I'd completely ran out of oil, so I just picked up some sunflower oil as well. Just got a fairly small one of those for now. And then I got some sugar snap peas. I was going to get some munch too, but all the ones I had were like bendy in a really bad bendy way. It's kind of able to bend them quite far without any form of snap happening. And then I picked up some broccoli and I did, as always, get one of the double floreted ones rather than just one super big broccoli instead. And then I got some blueberries, trying to get back into eating healthier. And with that, I obviously do want to make sure that I have healthy kind of breakfasts and things on the go. Still have some chia seeds and things in the cupboard to be able to combine everything up. And then I got some cooked chicken breast slices. Figured this would be great to be able to put into sort of lunches, into sort of sandwiches, something like that as well. And I got some white seedless grapes. I was just in the mood for a grape, and these ones were the ones that looked better in terms of sort of all of the different varieties and stuff that they had going on. And I picked up some parsnips. They've gone back to due to the time of year that it is. They don't necessarily have individual parsnips. So I did just have to pick up a bag of them. But I will find different things to be able to do with these to make sure that I use them up before they do go bad. And you know me, I do love a spring onion, so I picked up some more of those as well, just to be able to incorporate them either into meals or even as part of sort of sandwiches or something here and there for a stinky breath day. And then I picked up some baby plum tomatoes. Again, don't necessarily have a plan for these in terms of a meal, but perhaps more as a side to some sort of sandwiches and things. And baby butter mushrooms. I was completely out of mushrooms. So just decided to pick some more of those up because again, they looked a little bit better than the larger mushrooms. And a cucumber, figured that would go well with either again sides of sandwiches or putting it into the sandwiches or something themselves. They didn't have any little ordinary hoops, so I did just get some of the Heinz ones. I figured that would make for a speedy lunch somewhere along the lines, or even as a side to part of a dinner, in the same way as these mushy peas. find myself going through phases for wanting mushy peas. When I looked at them, I decided that it'd be quite good to pick them up. I do still have some tins of tuna. I think I have 2 tins of tuna, but I decided just to grab a couple more just because I thought that I'm planning to have sort of perhaps a tuna pasta for dinner one day. So then it will also give me choices in terms of being able to snack on them. I have them as part of a lunch somewhere along the lines. And I keep talking about sandwiches, so I did obviously pick up a loaf of wholemeal seeded farmhouse bread as well. And then my partner and his brother were still here at the time, so I did just pick up a thing of Pepsi. I did just pick those up for them as well. And the ones that are left, I will just probably end up having as a mixer at some point in time. But there we go. Alright, so as you can see, a fairly decent selection of things, but I do still have quite a lot of different meat and stuff in the freezer. So I was thinking I'll take out a sort of one of the pork loin joints that I have from the butcher's that's in the freezer, and then I still have some potatoes left in the cupboard. Do that with some of the parsnips and some greens and things for one day, and that'll give me then some leftovers to be able to put them into sandwiches or that sort of thing for lunches as well. And then I might end up doing, potentially, depending on how much there is, I don't think it's the biggest bit, I'd maybe do it into a curry, but like I said, I think it probably will just end up going into sandwiches as some of the leftovers instead. But I'm also going to do a tuna pasta, and hopefully then I'll be able to make enough up to be able to give me some leftovers for lunches sort of throughout the week as well for a day or so. And then I'm just going to do a spaghetti bolognese or a bolognese with some sort of pasta. It might not necessarily be spaghetti, but I do have spaghetti open, so that would probably be the sensible choice there. Again, super simple, nothing fancy, but I have most of the ingredients already hanging around for it, either in the fridge or the freezer or the cupboard anyway. And the bits that I didn't, I obviously picked up in terms of kind of the fresher side of things. I'm wanting to do a chicken dish, a kind of a lemony, creamy, garlicky kind of chicken with then a bit of rice or something as well. Then I have quite a lot of cheese from when we went up to the Wensleydale Creamery. So I'm thinking I might do a mac and cheese at some point. It's definitely going to be a pretty pasta heavy week, I think. But it should be a good week with everything that I'm doing in terms of comforting simpleness. I'm not entirely sure what I will do for the rest of the week beyond that. It will definitely depend on what leftovers are created and where it's going to be my first full week back at work after a couple of weeks away, especially where I was ill last week as well when they were here, and that meant I had to have some time off of work. I'm not necessarily too sure how enthusiastic I will be, how much energy I will have to sort of cook full meals, to think up things. So I am just going to kind of play it by ear a little bit this week, which is why I haven't tried to commit to doing some recipes from a recipe book, because I don't want to say I'm going to do these and then not have the oomph or the energy or the enthusiasm to do it. So we'll see how we get on this week. So it might mean that my meals of the week video is a little bit more simple, basic than every sort of it had been for the last few weeks when it comes around to next weekend. But then we'll see how we get on in terms of using things up and trying to get back into a bit more of a project pan thing as well. Though next weekend I am going to go to Costco, which is perhaps in contrast sort of to the project pantry kind of thing. But there are certain things I need to stock up on, olive oils, toilet rolls, all that kind of thing. So it does make sense to actually go down there and try to stock up on some things that I can like that as well. But next week's therefore sort of grocery video should be pretty interesting, of a mixture of Costco and Lidl and stuff as well. So if these are the kind of videos that you do enjoy, if I can ever get my words out, then please do consider liking and subscribing. And if there's any conversations happening in the comments, I'd love for you to get involved, because I do love to see what people have been cooking, what they're planning to cook, what you've been purchasing recently, or if there's a really weird ingredient, perhaps how you found a way to incorporate it to get it out of your cupboards. But yeah, thank you so much. Take care, and it's so good to be back. But I'll see you again very, very soon.